move on to discuss some of the top headlines going on in the soccer world. We start off with Chelsea, another goalkeeper coming in, Philip Georgeson, uh, Denmark international, Denmark youth international. He's actually born in Sweden, which is interesting, but yeah, they signed the Danish youth international. Um, Robert Sanchez. He's set to start as Chelsea's number one goalkeeper this season, but despite Philip Georgeson getting signed, Enzo Maresca said talked about or for Chelsea's manager Enzo Maresca, sorting out the goalkeeper situation was not the top objective, but really up high in the list. Speaking about it, he said, "For sure, the way we want to play the goalkeeper is very, very important." Said Enzo Maresca. And it's interesting, Jorgensen coming in. Because Jorgensen is not really the solution to this problem. He's another developmental guy, another sort of signing like Petrovic or Gaga Salina, any of the goalkeepers we've signed. I just think Chelsea, if they want to sort out that goalkeeper situation, stop with all these, potential options that could develop all that blah 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 blah. These mediocre sort of goalkeepers. Go out and go get a Mike Magnan. Go get someone of that world class ability that's under the age of 30 that has 10 years in him. Why do all this? If you want to sort it out, just go break the bank. And you were able to break the bank on 1,000 outfield players, but you didn't decide to get a goalkeeper. Unbelievable! What this Chelsea hierarchy has done. Unbelievable. And again, I could go on and on about how much of a failure this new hierarchy at Chelsea has been since they came in. I don't want to go too much, but it's been a disgrace. Barcelona, they are ready to completely switch their attention from Nico Williams to Danny Olmo. It doesn't seem like Nico Williams is going to happen, but there are other options like Danny Olmo. Nico Williams, who's been Barcelona's top priority, and even Joan Laporta saying his 58 million euros release clause is affordable, but the transfer is not looking possible or likely. It's not the problem of paying the release clause. Barcelona has that money available, but they don't know if they're able to register him with La Liga immediately because of the salary cap, blah 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 stuff, and with the La Liga spending limits, they need to bring in more cash through transfers, through revenue. We saw Real Madrid; they were able to register $1 billion in revenue over this past season. They need to register enough to be able to spend more money. And it's disappointing because wow, Nico Williams, he would have been an amazing option for Barcelona. It would have really shifted, seeing a front three of Lamine Yamal, who will be game in game out starter, I assume, going into this next season, with Robert Lewandowski and Nico Williams. That would be really, really good, and really, really be fascinating to watch. Now, as far as Dani Olmo, Barcelona believe Dani Olmo could be more likely. He wants to return back to Barcelona. He left Barcelona when he was 16 to go to Croatia. But first, they need to agree with RB Leipzig first. Almost $60 million euro release clause expired on July 20. But there are sources that say Leipzig will honor their verbal agreement to let him leave if Barcelona is able to pay around that amount, the release clause amount, this summer. Right now, there's currently a standoff with that. Barcelona, they want to agree with an initial fee, with the rest made up in add-ons and all that. But we'll see if it's likely. I think Dani Olmo gives you a little bit different. He's more of a midfield player. He can play on that left wing as sort of an inverted sort of winger, or inverted winger, coming in on his left foot. He has that ability to strike the ball. He has that goal scoring nouns to him, but I think he's more better playing in the sort of advanced midfield role, picking up pockets of space between the center backs and full backs, making those late runs, those unpredictable runs that are hard to get tracked down, because it puts midfielders in a sort of weird position. Do I go track him down? And then it puts defenders, should we come up and block off that sort of space? It just puts everybody in an awkward position, but that will force De Jong to play more of a deeper role in midfield, and that's not where he does best. So I do think overall, the better option for Barcelona is Nico Williams, but they think it's more likely that they're able to get Dani Olmo registered in the books than the likes of Nico Williams, which is disappointing because, man, I thought Nico Williams could bring Barcelona, really bring them, because now talking about a front three of Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal, and Lewandowski, that's a sort of front three that can compete with Mbappe, from Vinicius and Rodrigo. Maybe not right away, but as Lamine Yamal start getting better and better, Williams and Lamine Yamal start getting better and better and better, and if Lewandowski, if he doesn't continue this, then maybe bring in another world-class striker. Ooh. Everton were able to sign the Irish international Jake O'Brien from Lille. The 23-year-old defender was able to sign with Everton for around 21 million or 20 million euros, and O'Brien is he's a decent player. He actually got his first cap for Ireland against Hungary in June, and now he's going to be playing alongside another Irish international, Seamus Coleman, who's very experienced. Everton, they've been busy so far. They've made 5 signings this summer, and they've also, got the return of loan players, getting Jack Harrison from Leeds, and Tim Irogbunam and Endai. And then signing Irogbun, Ndi, and Lindstrom. They've had busy summer, and they're really trying to get themselves back into, out of that relegation race. O'Brien, speaking about the move, said, "Seamus has been on to me to sign for Everton. He's a top guy, a brilliant captain, and to play under him here as well as with Ireland will be a privilege." It'll be interesting to see if O'Brien will come in and be a starter, or is a guy to add depth, because right now Everton do have a set partnership with James Tarkowski and Jarrett Brantwaite, who's another, one of those young up-and-coming risers for an English national team, was involved in the setup. We see the rumors to Manchester United. Can United cough up that transfer fee? We don't know. But, if they're able to retain Brantwaite and Tarkowski, I think O'Brien can come in and be very, very solid depth, I think, for Everton. And it's important that they need this sort of depth to keep themselves out of the relegation race, because, I'll tell you what, that relegation race is fierce down there, and you don't want to put yourself in a rough position. El-Neni, he has moved. Right now he's at the Olympic Games, but it's been announced that he's going to be moving to Al Jazeera, the Emirati club. Roma was able to sign Argentinian Solé from Juventus. To Southampton are able to sign forward Bertrand Diaz, the Chilean international. They also signed midfield Matsuki, the Japanese international Kiryu Matsuki, playing. He's actually involved at the Olympic Games going on. I believe he's at the Olympic Games going on right now. Let's see if he's involved. No, Matsuki Kuryo is not involved in that team actually, but a player that would be involved if he was, if he wasn't making a move. There's some real quality in this team. Endrick, he was announced over this past weekend to Real Madrid as well. A lot of news that went on, and yeah, we'll talk about this more as the season goes on. Before we end off, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Soccer Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means so much to us. We invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again and have a wonderful, wonderful day.